There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Happy Monday, February 17th. Man, look at what we got coming up right here. Undisputed. Beterbiev and Bivol, the rematch. Can't wait for February 22nd, but what a week we've had. This is a good time to be a boxing fan. This is a great time to be a boxing fan. It's a great time to talk boxing. It's cold here on the East Coast. It's like in the 20s outside. I'm looking at snow, ice, but it's hot in boxing. That's corny, but it's true. Had a great weekend and have a great February 22nd. Well, I think the name is like the final crescendo or something. Like Turkey doesn't get many things wrong. He got the title to this fight wrong. I think that's what it is. But look, it ain't no Thriller in Manila. So um super super excited about the card, but definitely want to jump into last week. Saturday, we had some great fights. Had some great fights. Well, I should say maybe they weren't great fights on Top Rank. What made that card so much fun is there was so much talent. There was some good fights. Keyshawn Davis, it was time to see if he was going to be a champion, and he answered the bell. Destroyed Baranchek. Destroyed him. I mean, destroyed him. Um, but the fights themselves, there weren't any really great matchups. But again, it was good to see all those names. Um, let's start right here with Keyshawn. I mean, he left no doubts in this fight. He answered the bell. Um, Keyshawn Davis has improved so much in the last year or so, and he just put on a clinic. His body punching, he was sharp, and he put it all together. And he's a champion now in one of boxing's best divisions. In that weight class, there's so many good fighters. My fear, my fear is that in 2025, in 2024, before Haney lost to Garcia, you had Tank, Shakur, um, you had Haney, and you had Teofimo Lopez. The boxing world just wanted one of those fights to happen. Between those four guys, didn't happen. Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, funny, is the only guy that's fought like the big names. He fought Haney, he fought Lomachenko. But those four guys I just mentioned, and Haney, well, he didn't lose because it was a no contest, I guess. But those guys never fought. Those four guys, they didn't fight in 2024. Are we going to see the same thing in 2025? But I'm getting off track. Look, Keyshawn Davis just he just did his thing, and he's a champ. My man Tech Dumb Dad, let's go. How are you, Mr. Jakovic? Good to see you again, brother. Man, it's good to talk boxing. I talk boxing every day, mostly to myself, but I'm telling you, in the future, there is a boxing doc coming out, a boxing doc series coming out called Return to the Ring. And boxing fans are going to love it. Just sports fans should love it. My man Bruce, what's going on? Levi Sullivan. Levi, it's going great, man. It was a slow January, but things are cooking in boxing. So, who stole the night last Saturday night? To me, Keyshawn Davis was Keyshawn Davis did because he became a champion. But this man right here, I mean, Abdullah Mason just keeps getting better and better and better. He's just another guy that I can't wait to see fight again. And Top Rank seems to be moving him well. He's a lightweight threat, and there's so many good fighters in that division. But to me, Keyshawn stole the night. Now Xander Zayas had a good night. I know what everyone said. Everybody said that Slava Spomer was his toughest opponent. But if you look at Slava's record, it wasn't distinguished. I mean, I didn't recognize anyone that he fought. Yes, Tim Bradley, my man Tim, and the guy said he was going to be tough, and he was. Xander gets hit. In boxing, you get hit. Can he beat those guys at 154? I don't know. I mean, he's the number one contender, I believe, in one of the divisions. So my man Bruce says, was Davis that good or is Baranchek that bad? Um, Look, I think Davis is that good. I really do. I don't think Baranchek was going to be a champion for long. He's not a great fighter. He's got that weird jitterbug style, like he bounces around and doesn't have much power. So I think that Keyshawn is that good. I do. You can only prove it against great fighters, though, and he hasn't fought a great fighter yet. Abdullah's becoming a different breed. He is. But remember, you just have to see him in against another killer. You have to see him against another killer. Keyshawn Tech Dad says Keyshawn looks better every fight. Abdullah going to have to take on a big name soon, maybe a title shot in late 2026. Yeah, agreed. Dennis was scared after the first power shot he took in the first round, and he was the weakest champ by far in that division. Well, there's no doubt. He definitely was the weakest champ in that division. Tech, we just want to see these guys fight each other, right? And again, I'm going to say again, in 2024, a lot of great fights made. Can't take away from the fights being made, but I can still talk about the ones that weren't. You had Teofimo, Shakur, Tank, and Haney. Those four, people are talking about them as the four kings in 2024. Any matchup between the four didn't happen. It didn't happen. Ryan Garcia stepped in and did what he did with Devin Haney. My question is, will those guys minus Haney, will those guys fight in 2025? I don't know. I don't know. But who stole the night? Again, last Saturday, I'm thinking Keyshawn did. Again, we have to talk about this man. Jared, the real big baby Anderson. He was back in the ring. Didn't look particularly great. I'm telling you, that Roy Jones clip that he did, where he talked about not loving boxing and not really wanting to fight, not wanting the pressure. We all saw what happened when he fought Bacoli, a fight that Top Rank didn't want him to take, and he got absolutely bludgeoned. So he's young, he's got talent, but is he going to go anywhere in the division? I don't know. Look, I'm from Jersey. I always preface that I love Jersey fighters. So Vito Mielnicki was on the card too. He had a draw with John Coyle, or Connor Coyle, sorry. I don't know what to say about Vito. I mean, he's young, he's got talent. It looks like sometimes he takes his foot off the gas or he doesn't know what to do with a certain style. I don't know. I don't know if he has that it factor. Will he be a star? I don't know. Will he be a champion? Maybe. Maybe, but the jury's still out. I mean, he didn't look good his last fight before the Coyle fight. Certainly didn't look great in that Coyle fight. Now, that being said, I thought he won the fight. I didn't think it was a draw. I thought he won by a few points. So I would have given him the win, but it was not a breathtaking performance for sure. Tech Dad. I want Keyshawn to unify against Loma and then Shakur Tank because this Keyshawn beats this Loma. I think you're right, but I don't think Loma wants to fight. I don't think Loma wants to fight. And if you're going to retire, retire. Just stop. Big Baby said, I don't like to hit elbows. He's not a contender. He's a pretender, in my opinion. Can't argue that. I can't argue that. Adam Hurley, Abdullah says he's down to fight Carmel. What a fight that would be. Well, I mean, I think down the road, that would be a good fight. Levi, Jared's body language and attitude made it look like he didn't want to be in the ring on Friday. Yeah, that's the image he projects, that he this is what I do. You know, if you know your history, Sugar Ray Robinson, the great Sugar Ray Robinson, a fighter that a lot of people say is the greatest. He said he didn't love boxing, but it's what he could do. But guess what? He's maybe the greatest fighter in the history of people getting in the ring and fighting. Jared Anderson is not. And if he's got that attitude like, this is what I do, but I don't love it. he's not that good. He needs more than what he's showing. So we'll see. I mean, he was buried. He was buried on that card. I mean, he was way down the list. Um, I think he fought after Nico Ali Walsh, though. So I will say that. And I'm bummed that I missed that card. I was supposed to be last Thursday. Joe Smith has got a comeback fight. He's fighting at the Paramount on Long Island. I was supposed to be at that fight. They postponed it to March 22nd because Joe Smith is sick. So shout out to Joe. Gonna have his trainer on very soon, one day, hopefully this week for an interview to talk about the former light heavyweight champ from New York, Joe Smith. Carmel could, yeah, but Carmel is listen. He's gonna get a shot for sure. He's gonna, but I don't even know how many fights he's at this point, 4 or 5. I mean, he's sneaking in fights on undercards. So, um, Tech. Oh no, Joe. I love Joe, true warrior, but he is long in the tooth. Yeah, but is he? I don't know. Nowadays, look how old Loma is. Crawford. I mean, the long in the tooth. I don't know. He certainly has not looked good. Look, Archer Beterbiev just wiped him out when they fought, and then he had the fight against Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight, which was a tough first fight to come back in. Didn't look terrible in that fight. Um, didn't look great. We'll see. I'm a Joe Smith fan, so um, I'm rooting for him, and I will be there March 22nd for his fight at the Paramount, Long Island. Get your tickets. Dio, I haven't watched pro boxing in months, George. You were the best part, even though we've had our heated boxing arguments. My man, listen. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's been a long time. I mean, I'll preface that. I was gonna say it's been a long time since I've watched pro box. Now, Chris and Paulie, love those guys, especially Chris. Tim Bradley is a good friend of mine. Teddy Atlas, Sean Porter. I don't think Tim, Sean, or Teddy are with them anymore. Now, I haven't watched Pro Box lately, but last week I did jump on, and yeah, I don't really see the fun anymore. It's not on me to give free advice, but it was a small sample. I just looked at some of the recent clips they had, and it was all talking just about Pro Box fighters. Pro Box TV, I thought was going to be talking about the sport as a whole. I mean, we had talk shows every day, and we talked about whatever topics were up. Sparring session, which was a fun show. It's just different. It's just different. But Dio, I appreciate you, man. I do. Oh, here we go. David Cushion. Hey, George, which fight are you most looking forward to this Saturday? Ooh, boy, oh boy. You know, look, look at this. Look at this card. It's I Teddy Atlas, who I respect greatly. Teddy Atlas is just he's a boxing mastermind. He knows the history, he loves the sport. He said that he thinks this is the best card in the history of boxing. I can't argue that. I mean, of course, you can look back at Don King's rematches card that he had, which was a great card. Will this card live up to what we see? Certainly. I mean, look at it right here. The final crescendo, is that what it's such a week. But the fight that I'm looking forward to the most. Look, obviously it's for me it's Beterbiev and Bivol, but the heavyweights, Dubois and Parker. Though I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to these guys rumbling. Um, and I'm gonna jump on a live and do a live closer to uh, fight night. But I'm picking Joseph Parker in this. I really am. I'm picking Joseph Parker to win this fight. Um, I think Dubois has had a sensational run to get to where he is. But Joseph Parker has had his own great run. He's beat Wilder. He beat Zhang. He deserves to be there. He deserves the title shot. I think he's going to win it. But I mean, look at this card. Gilles Zhang and Caballel, that's a fun fight. Boatsi and Smith, another fun fight. Virgil Ortiz and Majamov, that's a real good fight. And Ortiz just struggled, man. He struggled in his last fight. And Majamov gave Crawford all he could handle. So, man, these are the great types of matchups you look forward to because you always have questions about a fighter. They probably have questions about themselves. The only way they get answered is in the ring. What does Ortiz do against Majamov? Is he the fighter that we think he's going to be? We'll see. That's the beautiful part about the sport, and that's the beautiful part about this card is you've got matchups like this. Man. So we'll see. Is Ortiz the goods? He's got a tough go against Majamov. Adames and Shiraz. Now, Shakur Stevenson, that's New Jersey right there. He's going to handle Floyd Schofield. I don't think Floyd Schofield's ready, but Floyd called for this fight. So you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. He called for this fight. He called for this fight. Shakur's been out of the ring for a long time. And Shakur has got to look good. And Dubois and Parker could be a sensational fight. I'm going with Parker. And then, of course, you got the rematch, Beterbiev and Bivol, which I think Bivol has to be more aggressive in this. I think Beterbiev is going to win. I think what a lot of people may forget about or don't know, that Beterbiev, the first fight, he had just come off a knee injury. That was healed, but couldn't have been 100%. Now he will be 100% or as close to 100% as you can be. I mean, all fighters have something. For him also, it's his age. I believe he's 40 now. So, yes, he's at some point, he's not going to be able to do what he used to do. Did he show signs of slippage against Bivol? I don't know. Bivol's he's a tough fighter. He's a tough fighter. So, but yes, the fight, David, you asked this question, and the fight I'm looking forward to the most is the heavyweights. It's Dubois and Parker, minus the main event, of course. Levi, that attitude of yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're right, Levi. We're talking about Big Baby. Yeah. Tech Dad, Schofield lands 20% or less against Shakur. Book it. Well, I mean, everybody has that kind of rate against Shakur. I think Shakur, you have to look good in these fights. He's got to. Tank fights on March 1st against Roach. Virgil versus Majamov might be fight of the night. It might be. It might be. Who knows? Zhang's fight could be fight of the night. Zhang, he's 40 something, 40 something. I always think if I was doing sparring session, if people, we did a really fun show. Go back on Pro Box, look back in the archive, sparring session, where Paulie and Chris would debate on topics, and I was the judge. So it wasn't really a trivia quiz. It wasn't a trivia thing. It was to spark debate, to spark talk. If we were doing the show now, one of the topics would be who's had the most mismanaged career of all time. I put Gilles Zhang on that list, and I don't think he's number one. I haven't even put thought into this, but Zhang started so late. I don't really know why he started so late, but he was moved so slow. He's in his 40s. Just imagine, take a decade off. What he could have been. But that could be a great fight. Just this card. This card is just, it's stacked. Tech Dad's got Parker winning that fight. So you and me are on the same page. Daniel Wood says stacked cards leave the schedule a bit thin. You know what, Daniel? I'm not going to disagree with that, but I'm tired of fights not being made. I'm tired of fights not being made. I really am. So they want to put them all on the same night. So be it. Daniel, you've got Beterbiev by stoppage and Dubois by stoppage. If he didn't respect AJ's power, he isn't going to respect Parker's for sure. That could be his mistake. That could be his mistake. I think right now Parker is a better fighter than AJ. And look, AJ was on a great run. Can't deny he was on a great run. But a lot of people, and we did this on Pro Box, when he beat Francis Ngannou, everybody was going crazy. Everybody was going crazy. Oh, AJ's back because he had some other fights too. But I remember saying, shouldn't we temper our enthusiasm because he beat a guy who was 0-1 as a boxer. Yes, he gave Tyson Fury trouble. Yes, he decked Fury. But they were like, nope, nope. I remember Tim Bradley saying, nope, nope, I wouldn't temper the enthusiasm. I still do. AJ wasn't AJ what he used to be. I don't think. At least that's me. I don't think. So, um, Tech pick Parker to beat Wilder and John too. And yes, I got receipt. Hey, I believe you. I believe you. I thought he would beat Wilder. I didn't think he would beat Zhang. I also thought Wilder. I thought Wilder was well. Wilder's a whole other subject. But Parker, what a run! What a run! He can become two-time heavyweight champion of the world. That's the fight that I'm looking forward to most. Just exactly, Daniel Woods. Even Wallin has looked poor since. Fury made us think those wins were better. Yeah, Otto just. I mean, he just lost to a very old fighter. So it is. It's a great card. Just it's a fun card. It's a card that people want to see. It's a pay per view. I've already bought it. And I wish more fights like this would get made. But I guess my point is for doing this. This has been a fantastic 2 weeks of back-to-back fight cards. Again, Top Rank, not the mega blockbuster fights you want to see, but a lot of talent and some good fights. And Keyshawn Davis became a champion. Antonio, we better enjoy a card like this while we can. We won't see anything like it for a while. Well, we'll see. We'll see. March 1st, you've got Tank and Roach, which doesn't excite a lot of people. Sandor Martinez on the undercard, which is nice to see him get a shot. Gary Antoine Russell. So it's not a bad card. And also that night, Subriel Matias is back. How far he fell, huh? He was a lot of people's underdog choice. But you're right, it does get thin. Looking at the schedule moving forward, hey, all you George Kambosos fans, he's got a fight on March 22nd. But March is a Sebastian Fundora's fighting Chordell Booker. Fundora to me is a very flawed fighter who is going to get beat. I don't think he's going to have a long reign. Does Booker beat him? I don't know. March 29th, you got Michaela Mayer and Sandy Ryan, the rematch. And Brian Norman defends his welterweight belt for the first time against Derek Cuevas, who I know nothing about. So yes, it's a little dry. It's a little dry coming up. March is not a great month. Now April, you've got Boots Ennis against Stanionis, which I mean they've been trying to make this fight for, or was that Stanionis Ortiz? Stanionis has gotten just it was Stanionis and Ortiz. Stanionis has just gotten sidetracked with fights that fell out and didn't happen. So yes, I agree. Enjoy this. I'll put it up again. Antonio says, enjoy it. because we won't see anything like it for a while. That's true, but I'm going to enjoy it. We're all going to enjoy it. Tech, I'm dead, and the price of this card is where pay-per-view should be headed. The less you charge, the more will buy it. Hallelujah. I still, with it being so easy to just pirate shows, I just don't know how they do it, how they make a profit with pay-per-view. But it's about eyes on boxing. You want more eyes on these pay-per-views. Stop charging $80, $90. Casuals won't pay that much. By the way, that Amazon Prime, I don't even know. Somebody out there can tell me how much is that the Tank Davis Roach card, because I'm sure it's not $25. I'm sure it's not. But one guy that we talked about earlier, but this is what you want in a fighter, that every time he fights, you want to see him fight again. Every time he fights, I can't wait. I can't wait to see him fight again. Abdullah Mason, who's unbeaten, and he wants, as they say, all the smoke. He wants everybody out there, and you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. So it's a great card coming up. We had a fun card that Top Rank put on. By the way, with the news of Top Rank and ESPN, although I hear that they might be coming to the table to talk again, my man Charles Price, that dude was knocked out going to the mat. Who? Now, who? You got to tell me who you're talking about. Charles Price, who is a renowned author. You see right here, his book, The Council. Go buy it on Amazon. Renowned writer, Charles Price. The Council. Tech. Until Tank fights the best, all of his pay-per-views are overpriced. I don't want to think about what round Tank KOs someone I want to be unsure he will win. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, you're talking about in the screenshot. Yeah. Yeah, that he's yeah, Abdullah Mason is a special fighter. He really is. But again, don't go too crazy, because fighters have to prove themselves. They have to prove themselves. He's done it so far. He's unbeaten. So let's see in 2025. I'm sure Top Rank is going to step him up. I just want to see him fight better fighters and see what he does then. So I'm not going to make this live too long. I have been working on let's see, there we go. Rusty Cage. Mason, another Amero bum hype job. So I'm gonna assume that you are from the UK, Rusty. We'll see. We'll see if he's a hype job or not, right? I mean, they said that about Tyson back in the day. They've said that about a lot of fighters. They said that about Pernell Whitaker. They said that about a lot of fighters. Let's see. I'm not ready to say he's going to be the best fighter in the world in 4 years, 5 years. I say that if you watch boxing, you want to see him fight again. You watch him fight once, you want to see him fight again. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got athleticism, he's got good defense, he's got a chin. He got dropped, he got back up, he took care of business. He's a fighter, Rusty, that I want to see fight. So what will he become? I don't know. But it looks like he's on a path to great things. I have been working on a documentary series called Return to the Ring, and I'm hoping that in 2025 it is going to see the light of day. But it's going to be a show very much in the vein of Legendary Nights, except in this one we'll show almost the entire fight. And I'm talking about great fights like Tim Bradley and Ruslan Provodnikov, Chris Algieri and Ruslan Provodnikov, Kevin Kelly and Troy Dorsey, Jermaine Taylor, Kelly Pavlik, and on and on and on. So I've been working on this, and here is a little sneak peek to one of them. This is June 14th, 2014. Ruslan Provodnikov defended his 140-pound belt against Chris Algieri.
Who has boxing skill. Chris Algieri is one of the finest conditioned fighters that I've ever seen. Had legs, had stamina, had hand speed. He had everything except power. And against Provodnikov, most people thought that Provodnikov would be able to walk through that lack of power, that Chris stood no chance in this fight, but he was lucky to get the title shot.
Algieri's a tall guy, and he knows how to use his height and his reach advantage. But the thing is, if he can't keep that guy off him for the entire fight, though, trouble will happen.
Yeah, I was a huge underdog. It was an HBO fight, and it was definitely set up for Provodnikov to be the guy. I didn't have time to think, man, I'm this kid from Long Island. I started boxing, 5 years ago. What am I doing here? Because I was just so in it.
This is what I've been working for a very long time, and it's surreal that it's here now.
I let boxing envelop my entire life. It was the only thing that mattered to me. It was the only thing that was on my mind.
It's going to be your classic boxer versus brawler, and the boxer is going to prevail.
We knew we were winning that fight.
By the way, that was written, produced, and edited by yours truly. So it's really going to be a great series, and we've got more to come. I mean, I'm shooting with some people this week for the doc. I've shot with, I think, 5 Hall of Famers, champions, great fighters. These are old HBO fights and some old USA Tuesday night fights that we are making docs out of. Rusty, I feel bad how juiced up Conor Ben nearly decapitated Algieri. Yeah, he does too. He does too. He does too. Tech, dumb dad, that fight still makes me stand up and cheer when I watch it. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I got to a couple months ago, ventured down to Florida, and I interviewed Chris Algieri about this fight. Got to spend some time with him. And Chris is still in shape. And look, why not give another little nugget just to catch you up with Chris Algieri? This is another part. Let me see. Let me find it. Another little part that's going to be in the show, but this is Chris Algieri.
Still in the gym. I still like to get into the boxing gym at least once or twice a week, just to one, stay fit. Two, scratch that itch. I feel good, in the bag, but whatever. But then I feel like, my hands are sore. My biceps are sore. Like this stuff. Those little aches and pains are reminders. I used to do this 6 days a week. Now I train one day, and I feel it the next day. I don't like to box too often, because if I do 5 days in a row, a couple weeks in a row, and then I start feeling good, maybe that itch turns into a thought process that I can get back in the ring. I don't like it.
What do you want going forward?
It's funny, I have not fought past this day or this moment for months. I don't even know what June 15th even it looks like. So I guess I'll get some rest, ice my eye, and see what's up.
I win the title in the Provodnikov fight, and then Bob Arum goes, I want to see that kid fight Pacquiao next. And that basically started the Pacquiao experience.
So there you go. These are going to be great shows. If you've watched the Legendary Nights series, which I was involved in when I was at HBO, this is very much in that vein. Hopefully, we got to get some more in the can, get some more finished, and hopefully sometime this year they're going to premiere. And can't wait. David, looks awesome. George, can't wait to see more. Me neither. Irie Elliott, got to meet Chris at the Pro Box card in San Antonio. Cool ass dude, very humble, very respectful. Yeah, Chris is really he's a good dude. He really is. Him and Paulie. But yeah. So listen, gonna make some picks later in the week, even though I've already made some. Joseph Parker. I'm gonna look at the odds. Joseph Parker, I know he's an underdog. I think Joseph Parker is a live underdog. I think he's going to win it. How exciting is this? We got the rematch February 22nd. Can't wait for this card. And once again, what's it called? The Final Crescendo. Man, that's Wake. But look at that. Can't wait for this. Make sure you buy it. Going to talk some more boxing later in the week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keeping this short and sweet. And I'm out.